Channel 95.7, 813 with Connie and Curtis. 72 and scattered storms today. That is the high, by the way. It's 68 now.
It is. It's muggy. It definitely rained downtown, but I don't see wiper blades being used now. I think it just is wet.
Why are there so many spiders?
Okay.
Is it because of rain?
They're just on our building.
Because it's summer? It just seems like there's so many.
We have, yesterday I stopped short. So we are in 50 Monroe. We're the Huntington Bank building that you see downtown. And it has the one building and then a big glass thing and then another building.
Right.
And the glass thing is on our side. It doesn't really separate them into two buildings. It's on our side. We have that. So I was walking past that and I stopped dead in my tracks and I took 2 steps backwards yesterday. Right as one of our coworkers was walking, and she said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Come and look at this." And out that window, there were probably 500 spiders on the window, but one of them was like the mother of all spiders, like the size of a tarantula. And I said, "Look at that spider." And she said, "That's the biggest spider I've ever seen." And it was also the biggest spider that I had seen. And she said, what she saw me do, walk down the hall, stop, turn. And she said, "I had to know what you were looking at. Like, what were you seeing outside?"
Yuck.
It was a huge spider. Sometimes they clean our windows. But then the spiders are back like a day later. They just hide.
I know.
We have a huge one right here.
I'm not looking.
Look at it.
He's pointing, and I refuse to look.
Oh, he's gone now anyway.
I don't believe you.
Yeah, he's not gone. He wasn't gone.
How long have I known you?
No,
I'm not falling you for your
That
shenanigans,
spider
Curtis.
was not gone at all. That spider is sitting right there waiting for you to look at him, waiting to be your best buddy.
Is he swinging from building to building?
Is
he as big as Spider-Man?
He is. The one, I'll show you the one, if he's still there today, that is in the giant window, because you won't, and it's 40 feet away from us, because it's.
So you're going to say it's 40 feet big.
It might be.
Like, what?
Well, because it's so far away, I don't know how big it is. It looks like it's the size of a tarantula, and I don't like it at all. Now, what I used to do, I worked at a radio station that had a light outside, so there are flies flying around all the time, and when I got there, it was light out. But when I would leave, it would be dark, so the light would be on, and I would spend 10 or 15 minutes every day shooting all the spiders with a rubber band. And I said to Amanda, "Get me a rubber band, and I'll clean this building up. No problem. I'm like an exterminator."
You're that good.
I'm that good.
Where do they fly? Do they ever hit you? When they go?
Yeah, like some of the guts will hit you. Yeah.
Yuck.
So then you got gut on your face, and I mean, that's not fun, but they explode. Pa-boom, 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 pa-boom.
You're good with rubber bands. We need to get you a box.
A box of rubber bands.
Yeah, we just keep in our office that you can
And I'll
just
just-
stuff them in your pockets every day.
I'll just go outside, and I will just shoot the rubber bands.
Doesn't it seem like there are more spiders on days like this where it's kind of gloomy and rainy?
Yeah.
and
That's just your
humid?
perception.
Maybe.
Because you're looking out and you don't see the sun off in the distance, so now your focus becomes closer. You're internalizing things, so you're looking more at the window instead of out at the outside.
Maybe.
The hustle and the bustle.
I think they like the moist.
I think they like the moist,
You know what?
too.
They probably, that one that I threw the water on today did not like the moist.
No,
At all.
I think that
It laughed
they
at you.
go underground to get the moisture.
Okay.
And then if it's moist out, they'll just come out
Well,
because it's more breezy.
That's not true. What you're saying now is just a flat out lie about spiders.
No, that's just my perception or my opinion
Yes.
Okay.
of spiders.
It's what you think.
When it is the wrong thing.
It's your thought,
Let's
Amanda.
Google, do spiders like moist? Most bugs like
Well,
moist.
that's not even like a sentence. You don't like
It's
moist.
not grammatically correct.
No. Do
Moist
spiders-
environments, maybe.
Moisture
Moisture.
would work. There was one giant one today that Amanda had seen when she came in. So then she says, "You got to come out and look at this big spider." And I said, "Give me a rubber band." And she had just her hair tie. And she said,
Ooh.
"I'm not giving you that."
Yeah.
So I had a cup of water that I was carrying. And I said, "Well, watch this." And I doused him. Ice water challenge to that spider. Like
And?
he just sat there.
He laughed.
He didn't even care.
Little spider laugh.
He likes
Ho,
moist.
ho, ho.
What do you got there, Googler?
Do spiders like moist?
Does a lot of moisture attract bugs like spiders? Moisture will attract spiders and centipedes.
Huh.
That's why they're also attracted to basements, because a lot of times basements are moist if they're not
disagree.
finished.
I disagree.
Amanda.
I don't think
you're
that's
right.
correct.
You disagree with Google?
Well, I think they appreciate cool, and sometimes cool and moist go together, like shamalama lama 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 da ding dong. But
Did you just watch Grease?
I did. Can you tell? Bang bang.
Yeah.
bang,
So because
bang,
you told me
bang,
that
Ding
yesterday.
dang, and we. And also around moisture, you'll find a lot of flying bugs, and that's what spiders eat.
And you know what? Let me tell you this. Back when I had a boat, Ooh, the
Spiders on
grossest
the
thing
boat.
when you leave your boat outside. The grossest thing is walking up to it to take off the cover.
Yes.
Because there are 8 million spiders on it.
But there's no
love the
moisture.
moist.
That's cool. There's
It's
no
in
moisture
It's in
there.
a lake, though, so there is moisture. Like
Yeah.
a lot of moisture.
Like 100% moisture.
It's a
Like
thousand.
1,000,000%
But not
moisture.
in the boat.
There might be
You don't know.
moisture in the boat.
Have you ever been canoeing and a huge spider like crawls out from under the seat and you see it walking and you have
Try not to tip?
Well, you have to tip because you don't want it to get on your leg?
Well, no, that's never happened.
Done that.
That sounds horrible.
We had a canoe, and we kept it at a canoe rack by a lake. So you would go down, and you would undo your bike lock, and you would put the canoe in the water. And I always used the paddle, and I would clear out any cobwebs that were there because I
Right.
don't want spiders on me.
Right.
But I had missed one. So Katie's sitting in front of me, and she's doing the canoe thing, and I'm in the back, and I see a spider walk down, and it's walking toward me. So I try to smack it with the paddle. I totally splash Katie. She hates. There's water on her back now. She's like, "What are you doing?" And there's a spider like on us, like it's coming toward my leg, and it got so close that I tipped it. I said, "I'm tipping this because I don't want this guy on me." And I tipped us in the canoe, and then I lost track of him, so I don't know where
could have
he
been
is.
floating in your ear.
Well, am I an island to him? Is he perched
Right.
on my head being safe? So I'm going under, and I'm like thrashing.
Could you have stepped on him?
I could have probably, thinking back now.
He's going to get on my leg.
It's an irrational thing, though, because they're so
Yeah.
creepy. I mean, I get it.
When you asked, could you have stepped on him, immediately that became what should have been
Didn't
the plan.
Katie say that too?
No, because she was looking the other way. She's looking straight ahead, and I had to make a decision. What are we going to do? And I said, I'm tipping us. And whoo, we were
Well,
over.
you've said a million times that you're afraid of spiders.
Oh, my goodness.
You hate
so,
spiders.
so afraid of them.
Kind of
because
girly that way.
I don't want them to bite me, and then I die.
Or turn into Spider-Man.
I had a friend whose dad, taking out the garbage, a spider bit his hand, and his whole arm turned huge like a balloon, and he had to go to the emergency room for a long time.
Like how long?
Like, he sat there for a while before they got him in, but then after a while, like, still long, because they had to, like, make the swelling
Was
go
he
down.
still okay? I mean, did he
I
eventually?
mean, he's okay now, but that's
And he was able
traumatic.
to keep his hand, right?
He still has his hand and his arm, and he can squeeze it, and he can drive and hold things, but it still is traumatic. I don't want to get giant hand,
I agree.
even for 1 second, and that hurts.
Hi, Brett.
Hey,
Hey, what's up?
my grandfather told me a statistic a long time ago that you're never more than 3 feet away from a spider in your whole life.
Ew, we're looking around.
We did. We both just looked around.
Ah. Is that true? Because remember that whole, you eat 8 spiders a year thing? We read that
Right,
that was a
that's-
myth.
That's false.
Do you believe?
Google it.
Oh, man. Amanda's busy. Amanda, Google. Google
How far away are
How
you
far
from
away
a
are you from
spider?
spiders, if that's true? We're going to find out, Brett,
What
because
if-
we believe everything
What
Google
if you
says.
What if you Googled how far away am I from a spider, and then it showed a picture of you and with a spider right behind you? You went webcam, and there's a spider like dangling down 3 feet. I'm 3 feet away from the one outside that I pretended was not really there.
Brett, what are you doing right now? Are you in your car? Oh, Brett's gone.
Oh, Brett got eaten
Oh,
by a
no.
spider.
I have an answer.
Okay, what's your answer?
Okay. Studies have shown that you're never more than 10 feet away from a spider, and one estimate puts you as close as 3 feet.
Brett's
To
grandpa
be
was
spider
right.
free, you'd have to go into a space refrigerated capsule.
And I will. That's what Michael Jackson used to sleep in. And Wesley Snipes, I think, had one until he didn't pay his taxes. So, yes, those are available.
He had to
I think-
return it?
I think Derek Jeter sleeps in one, too.
Really?
So, yeah, these
Didn't
are...
Walt Disney?
Walt Disney is in one now because he's dead. And he's frozen like Ted Williams.
Oh. Ted Williams is frozen?
Yeah, they froze his head.
That's what they said about Walt Disney,
No,
too.
but they actually did it to Ted Williams. That's why all the jokes, like they say Walt Disney is somewhere hidden on Disney World's property, and then everybody says, no, he's not. He's buried. You can go to his grave. But Ted Williams, his son said, I want to take my dad's head and I want to freeze it.
He's the baseball dude, right?
In Arizona, he's the baseball dude. And the daughter was like, you're not freezing dad's head. He's like, the heck I'm not.
Was that kind of recent? Because I almost
Yeah.
remember that being like an argument on TV.
Yeah,
It was a few years ago.
It's like 10 or 12
Okay.
years ago. And Ted Williams' head now frozen in Arizona.
The Ted Williams you're thinking of is the guy with the golden voice.
super
Remember the
Right.
homeless dude who was,
Yes.
they got into radio and then he was on commercials or something?
Right, and now he's homeless again.
Hi, Alicia.
Hi.
Alicia, what's up?
She's calling about pool spiders.
Oh,
Yes.
I have a feeling you're trying to creep me out.
No, I'm not trying to creep you out, but I'm
Alright.
creeped out, and
Okay.
my son, who is 2 years old, is totally creeped out.
okay. What do you
We
got for
have
us?
these crazy, like pool spiders. They walk on top of the water.
Oh, I hate
I
them.
try to like drown them, and they just like go together in a little ball. And then I watch them for a minute to make sure where they go so that I don't swim on them.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden their legs come back out and they pop right back on top of the water and they run at me.
Oh,
That's the worst.
why?
They really are gross. And my little son is so scared of them. He just stands on the side of the pool and he points and he's like, "Mommy bug,
Wow.
mommy bug."
Oh.
I'm going to
So,
take this time
yeah.
now to RSVP no to any pool parties that you invite us to, Alicia. I'm going to say no thank you. I'm busy that day.
We skim and skim and skim, and yet the crazy pool
Wow.
spiders keep coming.
Where do you live?
I've never seen them before, and we've had a pool for years, but we
Oh.
just moved out to like the Hudsonville-Jenison area,
Oh, yeah.
and now we have crazy pool spiders.
That's where they are.
Oh, those Jennison spiders.
And that's what they say. That's what we were looking at a house in Jennison, and there's like arachnophobia in the basement with the pulsing spider
shut
egg
up.
nest. And I was like,
Ah!
I got to get out of here. It had a pool.
Oh, Alicia, that is horrible. That
Maybe it was
sucks.
your house. Maybe I looked at
I'm
your house.
sorry, Connie. I know you got a pool, and so I'm sorry
Yeah.
to break the news.
You
to
know what? I've
but-
seen you have water bugs, like the ones that look like kind of like little beagles.
Little beagles. Just
Beagles.
so cute. Come here, little beagle.
I wish I had beagles in my pool. No, the ones that look like beetles, but they're like green and shiny, kind of.
Are they in your pool?
Like occasionally one will come in, and then I just flick it out, and it flies away.
Nice. Oh, they
but
can
they
fly.
swim. You can see their little feet going.
Yeah, there are these little crazy ones that like have really long legs. And so I've scooped one of them out before, and all of a sudden it flew away. I have no
Oh.
idea what crazy bugs those are, but you get
Wow.
really weird bugs when you have a pool.
Yeah.
That was a flamingo, I think, with the long legs and flies away when you scoop it out. That is mortifying. Thank you so
if
much
you
for
get
calling
a
us.
chance,
Well,
Alicia,
you're welcome.
take a picture of one of these spiders and post it on our Facebook page, will you?
I will do my best.
All right,
Thanks,
yeah,
dear.
we're
Good
Connie
luck
and
with
Curtis.
those disgusting spiders.
My grandma had a dock at her lake, and we would swim under the dock sometimes. And there
Oh,
were a
yeah.
bazillion spiders there, and so we would be afraid that they were going to drop on us. Because we look like we're a catch, right? We have
Don't
a lot
go
of-
under the dock.
We wouldn't be able to then after a while, especially
Mm-hmm.
at night. And then there'd be a huge one on the ladder to get out of the lake. And we
So
would
you had
just
to
stay in
tread
the
water
lake.
for 17
we would
hours?
Stay in the lake. And we're splashing them, trying to get him in the water, and they would
Oh,
never.
yeah.
They would never go.
Oh, hi, Evan.
Hey, how are you?
Good. You have a spider disgusting story for us?
Oh, God, do I ever.
Oh, perfect.
Goody.
Yeah.
What is it? Lay it on us.
Well, we used to live in the woods up in Pentwater, and one of my jobs was to go and mow the lawn, which it would be quite the task where basically I should have used a machete instead of a lawnmower.
Okay.
But while I'm going, there are spiders the size of my hands with egg sacs and babies on them
Oh.
running around everywhere. And as I'd
Everywhere.
run- everywhere. And as I'd run them over with the lawnmower, they'd just get angrier.
Oh, they wouldn't
You
fly.
didn't even kill him?
I couldn't. There was no way. It was like, Lord of the Rings with all the spiders everywhere. You couldn't kill them or get away from them.
That is horrible.
That's like a
They just get
nightmare.
angrier. It was like poking a bear with a stick and hoping to kill it.
So what would you do then? Just let your grass grow?
Well, yeah, that was one method we tried, but then they just get bigger.
Yeah, you
Oh
know
my
what?
gosh.
Next time, controlled burns.
Yeah, you know what? That is a much better idea, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, with their egg sacs. That's
Yeah,
visuals just disgusting
just
to me.
burn them. Just get a torch. I have a torch. I
PETA
can go up to Pentwater
hates
with
us
you.
right now. PETA is
You know
going.
what? That's a better idea.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know that PETA protects spiders.
They
do
protect everything.
the ethical
All
treatment of
things
animals.
living.
You're thinking Maya Angelou, who told.
Thinking of Maya
She told.
Angelou.
Who did
Thanks,
she
Evan.
tell? She told someone not to kill bugs because you're not allowed to kill bugs. You're supposed to. We're big. We're supposed to save bugs.
Oh, she said.
But
just
spiders
because,
can kill you.
Just it's something like this. Just because a thing is smaller than you does not give you the right to kill it.
Right, to decide if it lives or dies. And you need to, though, if it's a spider and it's going to get you. Survival of the fittest, people.
Hi, Danielle.
Hi,
Do you have a spider story?
I do.
Okay, what is it?
Our house that we used to have in Jennison, we had
Jennison
wood behind
again.
it. Yeah. And you get those big wolf spiders. And I don't know like why it seemed like we were infested with them, but we had one that was like the size of our hand, like on our porch. We had like let our dog out, and then we didn't want to go back in because we turned around and there was like this tarantula.
Yeah,
Oh.
guarding the
And on the
door.
porch, yeah. So my dad got the blowtorch and he burned it. Like,
Exactly.
how do you squish a spider that's that big?
Exactly.
Was it was the spider on the house?
It was just on the front porch, like sitting on the rug right in front of the front door, like on the welcome mat.
Yeah, you grab a torch in that instance, and you hope that you don't burn
You
your
don't.
house
Yeah,
down.
no kidding. The
Like-
fire
Well, and
department
that
probably
one-
would say don't.
Well, yeah, obviously. But, you know.
Remember the guy last week burned down his house because there was a spider on the wall,
Yep.
and that's what he did. He got a
Yep.
torch and he was torching it, and the house burned down to the ground. And
Oh, my gosh.
Your
But
dad must have been good with his blowtorch.
Well, that one didn't really move, and he had to do it again a different time on the back deck, and that one tried to get him, and he literally like jumped out of the sandals he was wearing, and like there was a
yeah.
spider butt mark like on the wood deck forever because he burned
Yeah,
it.
I mean,
A spider butt mark.
spiders don't want to be burned.
No.
They're going to
No.
run away.
No.
Like they don't. It's hot.
Yeah.
They don't like it at all.
No.
So they're like, they knock that off.
Wow.
And I used to. I played tennis in high school,
Thanks,
and
Danielle.
there'd be spiders on the fence, and we would pick them off and like whack them with our tennis racket as hard as we could, and make them fly, like hit them at each other, hoping that they were dead before they hit you, because you don't want to, have your friend die from a spider bite.
No, you don't want that to happen. Tammy, what's your story?
Well, I actually called to tell you about this house in Gun Lake that I lived on and
Okay.
lived in. But then here you guys are talking about spiders, and I work in insurance, and I'm thinking to myself, the spiders cause accidents, because how many people are driving down the road and they see
Oh,
a spider
yeah.
in their car, and bam.
Exactly.
True. That is
Exactly.
absolutely
Yeah.
true.
I flipped a canoe once because there was a spider in
Yep.
it. I mean, it's
I know, it's
irrational.
It is
yeah,
irrational.
and I have to tell you, I lived in this house in Gun Lake, and we had a roommate, and she says, I don't know if you want, there was like 4 bedrooms, and she's like, I don't know if you really want to pick that room. We call that the spider room, and I thought, oh gosh, what am I getting myself into?
Right.
And then I'm going, okay, it's not so big. You get that, home defense, and you spray it all over the windows and the walls, and you're like, oh, okay, everything's good. And then, but I'm telling you, those spiders, they sleep with you. I would make my bed, and there they were, right underneath my pillow. I'd roll over, and it's right there.
The spider
I would roll
room.
over. It was terrible. I'd roll over, and I'm like, oh, there's a spider in my pillow.
How
And
could you
that-
sleep, Tammy?
I had to move out. It was,
Yeah.
it was,
Yeah.
oh, it was traumatic. I just thought, oh, this is terrible. And
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
horrible.
Apparently, they like the beach. They like the sand, but yeah,
I
never
like
again.
The
Ag-
moisture.
Again, south of town, a lot of spiders. Gun Lake, Jenison, this is what we're hearing.
No
How you
kidding.
feeling now, Kentwood? You feeling real good about your choice?
I can tell you, thanks, Tammy. I can tell you that I don't have spiders like this in my house.
Luckily, that
No
you've
kidding.
seen. Maybe Dan sees them and knows better than to tell you.
Probably does. He's a smart guy. Hi, Hillary.
Hi.
Hi. Do you have another spider story for us, Hillary?
I have an absolutely terrifying spider story.
no.
Perfect. That's what we need.
I'm deathly afraid of spiders, and this is the reason why. I was at my grandparents' house when I was like 6 or 7, and their house was built in the 1940s, so it has this creepy, dark, damp bomb shelter,
Okay.
we call it. And I had to go in there to get life jackets for the pool. And I go
Life
in there, and there's this
jackets.
giant spider, like right in the corner. I'm wearing flip flops, and I step on this giant spider,
Okay.
and it apparently had an egg sac on it. And thousands, well, probably hundreds, but it seemed like thousands. So sick. Thousands of little spiders shot out everywhere, crawled up my leg. Everywhere. I ran into.
No.
I ran as far as I could, and I just jumped in this pool, and I couldn't even really swim that well. I just jumped into this pool.
Oh, Hillary.
I'm done talking to you. Hang up on her.
Bye, Hillary.
Connie and Curtis.
Connie.
841 at Channel 95.7, Connie and Curtis. Still 68 degrees, and we have scattered thunderstorms happening today, and we're only hitting 72.
Yeah, but at least it's a Tuesday, and you know what that means.
T-shirt Tuesday. T-shirt Tuesday.
We got shirts from Pegasus Sports. They say Connie
T-shirt
and Curtis
Tuesday.
unfunny in the style of the Lake Michigan Unsalted shirts, and you can have a pair of them right now if you're caller 10 at 770-895-7.
We need to not talk about bugs anymore today.
Okay, we talked about bed bugs and we talked about spiders.
Well, bed bugs
so-
were actually in the news.
Right, because we are lousy with them here in Grand Rapids. We're
Yeah.
the 33rd most bed-bugged
Most
city
infested.
in the world.
Okay,
Exactly.
no more, though.
All right, I got a list here that I would like to read to you. These are
Okay.
things that women want their man to get rid of.
Okay.
Clothing items. So you and Amanda, you play this game with me and say if you indeed do want Mike and Dan to get these things out of their life.
Okay. All right.
Number 1. Any sort of sandal that they wear, be it flip-flops or anything, unless you're wearing them to the shower in college or to a beach, it says there's no place for sandals in a man's life.
No.
Connie,
I don't want him to get rid of sandals.
Amanda.
I also disagree with that.
Okay, you will take them. Number 2, T-shirts with crude phrases or funny things that they think are funny that are not really that funny.
No, and he had a lot of them. Remember, I
Yes.
just told you that. He
And
got rid of a bunch of them. I think he kept one.
He kept one, and he can wear it whenever he wants.
Yeah, he can.
All right, Amanda, what about you? Crude shirts?
Mike never really wore those, but if he did, I probably would ask him now that he's 26 to get rid of them.
Okay, so there's
Wait, hold
one.
that thought, Curtis. Let's give away
Okay.
some T-shirts. Who's this on the phone?
Sarah,
Sarah, you're the winner.
we got you some T-shirts.
did I win for real?
You did.
Connie
Oh
and
my
Curtis.
gosh, I'm so excited. I never win anything.
Sorry, T-shirts.
You also got
The
some.
first time and I was caller too, and I'm like, oh, I'll just try again. And
Nice.
it rang, and I'm like, oh my
See?
gosh.
That's what you got to do.
Okay.
We also got you Goodrich Quality Theater passes too, along with your sorry T-shirts.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Look at how lucky you are today, Sarah. Hold
Your
on, we'll get your
choices.
information.
So hold on. So we are now talking about things that you, as a woman, want your man to get rid of.
Okay.
Sandals and T-shirts with crude phrases on it. 1 and 2. Cheap suit. It says you want your man to go out and buy an expensive suit. You don't wear a suit that often,
Right.
And you want it to be really nice. You should have a good one instead of like the cheap one that you've had since high school.
I don't think Dan even has an actual suit.
Okay, he's
But he's
suitless.
got some very nice suit jackets, like sports
Oh,
coats.
okay, so he's
Yeah.
very sporty.
Yeah.
What about mesh shorts?
No, he wears them. Like his old basketball shorts from high school.
And he wears
still
them
wears.
out?
Not out in public, but he wears them to work around the house.
Okay, and that's what it says. It says you can wear them around the house or
Yeah.
on the basketball court, but if you're wearing them like to the mall, a woman wants you to get rid of your mesh shorts. What about ratty underwear? Like they're stretched out or they have holes in them. Do you want him to get rid of his ratty underwear?
Dan's kind of meticulous. He doesn't have it. He's pretty good about getting rid of that kind of stuff.
I
and
have.
getting new.
We had our intern Lauren get me a fresh pack of underpants. I have
Right?
that, and I also have some worn ones.
Right.
And I just go right between them. I have noticed though sometimes Katie will one won't make it back from a washing trip.
It'll disappear.
It's just
Poof!
gone.
Where did my underpants
Cargo
go?
shorts. What about cargo shorts?
That's all Dan wears.
He's big into
He
cargo
loves
shorts.
them, and they make his butt look cute, so it doesn't bother.
So you like
Yeah,
it?
I like
Okay.
them.
It says that it makes it look too workerish. Like what? Why do you need all these pockets?
Too
is what they're
workerish.
wondering. And skinny jeans.
He doesn't have any skinny jeans.
Is that your choice or his?
No, that's his.
What if he went and got some? He walks into Aeropostale and he walks out. Look what I got! These skinny jeans.
I don't ever have to worry about that happening because he would never buy a pair
But
of skinny jeans.
imagine that he did. He has the tightest pants you've ever seen. Do you wish that he was wearing some looser, baggy pants?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah, probably.
That one would make the list.
What about Mike? Mike goes and buys skinny jeans, Amanda. What do you do?
You're welcome. Yeah, I don't think I could deal with that.
Yeah.
I would probably ask him why.
Some guys can pull it off, though.
Well, I bought 3 pair of skinny jeans last fall, and I was wearing them like nobody's business until one of our interns said, "Why are you wearing skinny jeans?" And I went, "I don't know. I thought I liked them." Yeah, aren't you like 35? And I said, "I'm 38."
That intern needs to get hired.
Yeah, I'm 38. And she said, "Yeah, you don't need it." So I have 3 pairs just
Oh.
sitting.
So you don't wear them anymore because of that?
Right. Well, and then
But
it
if you
turns summer.
like
It turns
them-
summer. So we'll see what
Okay.
happens. If I
Okay.
start wearing them in the fall, you'll see. But yeah, she was like, "Aren't you like 35?" Yeah, I am. Hello. It's me, the old man, trying to make people think I'm cool. Look at my tiny pants.
That's the only reason why I didn't like the green in my hair is because I felt like people would look at me and think that I was trying to be 20. You know? No!
What'd you
I-
dye your hair?
Yeah.
No, I don't know how to work the quarters in my
green.
pool.
Look at that old chick who put green chalk in her hair. I also saw a woman on TV last night. Oh, it was one of those ID shows, you know, those death
Oh,
shows that I watch
yes.
all the time. And she was, how old? I'm going to guess she was probably like 50.
Okay.
And she had a nose ring, and it was so cute.
It was.
Yeah. And then I thought, I would look ridiculous with a nose ring.
You would look great with the nose ring.
You're trying to make me look bad.
Let's go do it right now.
No, but I think it's so cute.
Was it just like a little stud?
Little teeny weeny little
Yeah, I
diamond.
feel like pretty much anybody could pull that off.
And then I saw a girl yesterday.
What about a hoop?
Not a hoop. It would have to be very subtle.
Okay, just like a little diamond on the side of your nose, and that's what this woman had.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. Yeah,
And I feel
Amanda's right.
I don't like a hoop nose ring on any person.
What if it's in the middle like a bull?
No.
Because that's cool. That's pretty tough.
It's very tough.
I feel like that's tough.
What if Katie came home with a nose ring today? Would you think that was hot?
I would
Honestly?
think it was hot. Yes.
Yeah, I think they're hot.
I would be like, I like that.
I had an eyebrow ring, but that was back in the day.
I mean, you're
Like
very
way back in the day.
You're very gangster.
I am.
you lay it
That's
all on the line.
gangster?
No, that's more like skater. You're very skater. I would say with your rings and your paper clips through holes on your body. I mean, you're amazing. you do it up. Safety pin through the cheek. You know, you don't care.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't do that. He's just talking.
No, that's
just blah blah blah.
That's what
blah.
the skaters all wore.
Yes,
when
but I
was in
did
high
not
school.
do that. But I did not do that.
Yeah, see, Lauren knows. Lauren knows the
Yeah,
look.
my sister had a phase in high school where she hung out with all the people who were like into skateboarding.
Yes.
And they'd go to the skate park with needles, like the ones that have like little like pearl balls on the end,
Yeah.
and just like break it off.
That's
like
what I'm
shove it
just
in
stick
and
it
break it
in?
off. I'm like,
That's-
oh god, there are a lot of infected lips. In
That's
that
what I'm
school.
talking about. Connie, you
kidding.
thought I was just making stuff
No,
up.
but you said I had one and I did not.
No,
have
I'm
one.
saying you should get one.
No,
is what I'm saying.
No.
because you had your eyebrow pierced, and it's a.
I still have a scar from that. Every time I tweeze my eyebrows, I'm like, stupid eyebrow piercing.
It's a gateway piercing, and then you just open yourself up. Nose, you got gauges in your ears. I mean, you're hardcore.
Amanda, you should totally get a nose ring. Not a ring, a piercing, a little teeny diamond stud.
I thought about
would be cute on
a
you.
couple years ago, but because of the job that I worked, like I was not allowed to have any
Right.
facial piercings,
Sunday
and now
school
I almost
teacher.
And now
feel
you're
like
in radio.
Yeah,
you can
Sunday
tattoo
school
your whole
teacher, that's what I
head.
did.
You can do whatever you want now.
Yes. Maybe I could.
Do it.
I mean, not unless you want to, but they are super cute.
I'm coming in
and
tomorrow.
you're young, so.
I'm coming in tomorrow with a hoop in my nose.
We'll
Left
go
or right?
together.
Left or right? Which,
Oh,
which
through the
side-
bridge. Do
No,
it
I
in
don't want
the
it through the
middle.
bridge. That'll hurt. What side? Left or right? Hoop in the nose tomorrow.
Left.
Left, right here. This is the left. Okay, hoop through the nose tomorrow.
Yes,
Is it?
Chris, that is
Is it
the
the
left.
I don't know. I want to make sure.
It is.
Because if I say to someone, pierce the left one, and they're looking at me, then their left one is my right one. So I'm going my left, hoop in
Are
the
you going
ear.
to actually pierce it?
Hoop in the ear for tomorrow.
No, you're not
You will see
piercing
it.
it.
You will see the hoop in the ear tomorrow, or in the nose tomorrow.
Nose.
Hoop in the nose.
You should do a little. You can get those things now that are like magnets. So it looks like a
What?
stud, and it's just a magnet on the
Well,
back
I'll
of
look
it.
like a stud. Who's the stud with the magnet in his nose?
Wait, are you getting plastic surgery?
It's me. And then I sneeze.
Ah!
Oh, that's rich.
It is rich,
That is
isn't it?
rich. I could get some plastic surgery today too.
I'm kidding.
A little Botox. Hey guys, what do you think of my new hoop in my nose and my super taut face?
Your face does not look like that. Unless you
I
go
feel
to
like
a
it
guy
does.
in a back alley.
I feel he does.
Botox does not do that.
What does it do? Does it puff up? Botox. What does Botox do? Does it make me fatter or thinner?
It doesn't. It gets rid of it. What Botox actually does is it paralyzes your muscle.
Perfect.
So, like, you know those lines you have on your forehead?
Whoa. Yeah, they're gone.
They would shoot them up with Botox, and then you wouldn't be able to lift your forehead.
Oh, so it's not getting rid of wrinkles. It's just stopping you from moving your face.
You can't lift it because it's paralyzed.
Okay, good.
I think it's like botulism or something.
I'll pass on that. I'll pass on
Are you
paralyzing
sure?
my face.
Just go with the nose ring.
That's all I need. That'll be tomorrow.
Left side. Can
Left
hardly
side.
wait.
My left side. Not your left side.
Are you going to take one of the girls' earrings and stick it in your nasty nose?
I did that to my ear once.
Ugh.
I did that to my ear in college, and that got messy. So I
What
had
did you
take
do
it
to
out.
your ear?
Took an earring and popped
Just
it right
stuck
through.
it right in?
Boom. Yeah. Didn't come out the back though.
Oh,
Seriously.
oh.
Seriously.
This day is grossing me out right now.
Connie and Curtis.